The amount of Lord Icon Hawkeyes that I've seen that have gone 0-10 in the first round was astonishing. So basically the biggest problem for a Hulk player is why there's no other 5 healers on his team, so he can continue being a dumbass, and that's pretty much the Hulk experience. If you have sunk in 400 hours and you're still playing Iron Man, get off, touch some grass. Hello YouTube and welcome back to Castle of Random. It's your boy, Random. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but welcome back to another Marvel Rivals video. Yeah, we haven't done Marvel Rivals in a long time. Don't worry, we're not jumping back into Marvel Rivals, bro, because fuck that game. Actually, I thought about this idea a while ago and I never really got around to doing it. But maybe I thought, you know, given the fact that we've done a lot of griefing about why the competitive is absolute bullshit, and from what I've heard so far, other than the PvE zombie kind of mode, I don't think the competitive is still good. I think it's still absolute bullshit. It doesn't work at all. But we don't really know what playing a certain hero says about you, you know, as a person. So judging from experience, judging from my kind of like lifespan on the game and my insights, I wanted to go through each and every character and go through what your hero says about you in Marvel Rivals. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it and let's see what it actually says about you. Shall we? So if you're playing Adam Warlock, probably your extensive knowledge of the game doesn't extend that far, because you're either gonna be a super qualitative healer or you're gonna be super useless. What I would say a Warlock player is basically best described as a healer, quote unquote, which is actually a DPS. So judging from the clip, as you can see, yeah, that's pretty much it. And your contribution to the team boils down to whether you can use your ultimate proficiently or not, meaning can you res them at the right moment or res them entirely when they're completely ready to get annihilated once again, because there is a Winter Soldier lurking in the back just dying to say the word again, once again. So moving on to Angela. Now if you're an Angela player, which I also had the privilege to play a few times before I kind of jumped off the game completely, she's a fun player, but basically your idea of how you should play a tank is, let me just glide for all eternity, do one kill on every other 5 minutes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of people don't know the difference between the melee and the fucking ground attack. An Angela healer player is basically a guy who just thinks that their job is to fly around and do nothing for the rest of the game and complain because heals are not around. Now, if you're a Black Panther player, you are either one or two instances. Either you're, again, very proficient in the game and you're actually a lethal machine, or you are the tickle monster which doesn't know how to use their skills properly. Again, the proficiency of a Black Panther player boils down to how well you can utilize the mark, which I know a lot of you people never knew how to do that proficiently. So, yeah, if nothing else, this is the player that basically is lurking either way up in your base or he's nowhere to be seen for the entire of the game because he's pretty much dead because he thinks he's Necros when in reality he's useless. Trying to be as concise and short as possible because we have a lot of people to go through. Now, if you're playing Black Widow, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be level with you. You're probably the trashiest of the trash players. And I know you're gonna say, oh, there's that one guy, that 1% that did actual decent in that one game, and no, Black Widow is actually good, trust me bro, no. Black Widow player are absolutely garbage. They do 0 shots, 0 damage, being farmed by Spider-Man, Black Panther, whichever Iron Fist, whichever DPS you wanna call, or whatever, like, slime motherfucker that does that type of gameplay. And then flame because no heals, nobody blah blah blah, whatever, and then just start farm. Being absolute cannon fodder, can't stand a Black Widow player. Now, if you're playing Blade, which I also had the privilege to play a little bit, well, if you're a person like me, I'm probably gonna speak for myself, well, Blade is the type of character that you really rely on him being healed through his lifesteal ability, when in reality it's not that much. You think you're doing a lot of damage with the spinnings, but actually you don't do that much damage as you think. Also, it's one of the biggest disappointments as a character because you thought that you were gonna play this character with the spinning things, and most of the players played with the shotgun, with the spinnings or the blade being used for very little amount of the time, which subsequently he should not be called blade, just call him gun, because 99% of people play him with a gun than a blade. The irony, right? Now, if you do play Captain America, well, I can only say salute to you. Now, Captain America was one of my favorite heroes in Marvel Rivals. Absolutely love the guy. Good consistency of being not useless, but also not super overpowered. He was always pretty much in the middle ground, always useful in the right hands, but never useless even in a character that was super bad. And it wasn't that difficult to master. The only thing that pushed him way above and beyond is, as we know, the animation cancel, which skyrocketed his damage. Nice dive character, very good, very decent, and Captain America players that know how to do the reflect even are even better. So props to you guys, keep up playing Captain America and you'll be saluted in the afterlife as well. So salute to you, soldiers. Now, if you're a Cloak and Dagger player, well, you're actually pretty good, but also you really don't know how to heal now, do you? Because you're relying on the auto aim for the healing to be actually feasible. But still, you can turn the tide of battle with a nice little ultimate, but also somehow a lot of the players find their way through a Magneto ultimate being smacked right in their faces. But overall, Cloak and Dagger players are very much appreciated because they do make a decent amount of damage and healing, as well as contribute greatly to the team. They know how to shift to damage or healing. They have good overview of how the battle is progressing and the things that they can do to contribute. So, like with Captain America, props to Cloak and Dagger players. Nothing too crazy to say about them, just keep doing what you're doing, I guess. Now, before we go more, I'll just briefly mention Daredevil, because this character came out way after I stopped playing the game, and probably if you're a player that goes for Daredevil, you're just probably there to play the newest character and you try to master him as soon as possible to get that Lord icon, just so you can shove it in their faces, when in reality you're not that good, brother. You just have a lot of time and you need to get a life and touch grass. Moving on. Now, if you're an Emma Frost player, you're either a professional gooner, which probably a lot of other people are, and also you're one of those guys that rely very much on the choke and slam. You also know that she's broken, so you're kind of like, okay, I don't know which tank I'm gonna play. I don't know how to play a proper tank, so I'm just gonna take Emma because she can go, ooh, grab and damage. But also to the players that do know how to play Emma, well, props to them, because also a good Emma player knows how to diffuse a ultimate from a lot of characters with the grab ability and saves it for a proper moment, unlike people that just desperately try to grab somebody, die in, complain about heals, and rage quit the game. Now, if you're a Strange player, well, you're probably the bread and butter of what a typical Vanguard is. You have your shield, you have your damage, you have your all-arounder of a Vanguard that you would need. Also, a lot of people do know how to make shenanigans with the portal, so you also know how to have fun in life. But also, you know how to get serious when the job is done. Your ultimate capabilities are heavily intertwined with your portals, or just being a good position at the right time. Overall, nothing too bad to say about Doctor Strange players. Usually, they're always nice, fun to play with, pretty decent. Now, if you are a Groot player, also one of my better characters that I enjoyed playing in my time on Marvel Rivals. Now, if you're a good player with Groot, you're either one of two characters. You're either the Wall Master, because you know the exact placements for every map, every place to get the maximum damage, maximum coverage, with the ultimate, with all the shenanigans, so you're the best, bro, you are the best. Or you are basically a kid being jumped at Fortnite, trying to crank 90s with the walls, hoping you will not die, dying in the process, complain about heals, and disconnect. And now comes in one of my most despised characters that I can't stand. Hawkeye. Now, if I said good or bad for other characters like Black Widow, well, Hawkeye takes that to the next level, because this guy is either super good or super trash. There's no in between. I've never seen whether a good or a bad Hawkeye player because most of them are garbage. Let's be honest. And the most triggering thing that I had in my time was, oh my god, dude, the Lord Icon does not associate with how good of a player is. The amount of Lord Icon Hawkeyes that I've seen that have gone 0-10 in the first round was astonishing. Especially if you're a Hawkeye player, I hate your guts. The ones that do know how to aim also hate your guts. The ones that are useless hate their guts. So overall, fuck Hawkeye players, they're useless. Try to avoid them at any cost. Now, Hela players. Hela players are an interesting bunch because honestly, they are kind of a toxic, or at least they were a toxic kind of players back when I played it. So Hela players are usually at least require some necessity of aiming to do the damage, but also you're one of the characters that basically hold the button, hope for the best, and you play Hela because, oh, she does a lot of damage, so probably I can do something. Good Hela players are exception because, again, good players are, like in any game, are exception, but usually the Hela players are picking Hela because she can do a lot of damage, and well, the ultimate is fun to use because, ooh, free kills. Until you get kind of blocked by Doctor Strange, you're pretty much useless. So Hela players, very annoying, very not like them, and yeah, they do lack a little bit in the IQ department, but that's okay. We sometimes like them, we sometimes don't. Hulk players. Hulk players boil down again to two categories, and usually the average Hulk player has the brain capacity of a peanut or basically amoeba, so nothing there short of unexpected, but what Hulk players boil down to as a group are, ooh, ooga booga, caveman strong, I can do shield, goes in, almost dies, pops a note, dies anyway, complains because team is not basically from point A to point B in their opponent base to heal him at any given cost. So basically the biggest problem for a Hulk player is why there's no other 5 healers on his team, so he can continue being a dumbass, and that's pretty much the Hulk experience. Well, if you play Human Torch, I have just one thing to say to you people. High damage does not equal being useful. Just because you did 60,000 damage, you think you're doing useful. No, brother, you are an absolute dumbass. Just because you put on 5 squares in a whole map and you keep spamming from the top with the fucking flames, that doesn't mean you've done anything. You warmed it up, and that's pretty much it. Rarely does a good Human Torch player come along. When they do, they're perfectly fine, but also, if you're a Human Torch player, you're there because, ooh, damage, and also because Human Torch is easy to use, and it makes you feel good about life. Okay, now if you're an Invisible Woman player, again, the average Invisible Woman player is pretty much good. Overall, there is a theme going on that people that mainly do healers, or supports, or strategists, whatever they're called, are pretty much decent in the game, know what they're doing, but the only thing is for Invisible Woman players, most of them, or should I say, there's a 50-50 chance that usually you'll either get somebody that's very in tune with the shields and healing, or somebody just trying their best, but really their aim is not really there at a good spot, so he's trying his best, but, you know, not really the most useful. Now, Iron Fist, I'm very torn because Iron Fist is one of my favorite characters in this game, and one that I mastered fully, or I took the Lord Icon for him first. But also he's one of the most split characters, or the community is very split about him. Especially because in seasons, when I played him, he was either super good or super garbage. But most of all, throughout the time that I played him, Iron Fist is pretty good. So, an Iron Fist player boils down to, again, the team is always there's 2 people. So, to the average Iron Fist player, let me tell you one thing, like I did with the Human Torch players. Just because you can parry and you get health in return or shield, that doesn't mean you can solo an entire team of 6. Or just because you pop an ulti, that doesn't mean that you can just go blindly ora and thinking you'll get a Panther. Please stop. But overall, a good Iron Fist player is very hard to find. Usually most of them are kind of on the weaker side. I won't say I was super good, but I wasn't super bad neither. Sometimes you have your days. But overall, nice Iron Fist players are pretty good guys. Overall, I would give them like a pass. They're like a C grade level. Usually they're not too bad, but don't expect that every single Iron Fist player will carry you to the desired victory. Unfortunately, it's gonna be more so the latter. But if you are an Iron Fist player, props to you, keep up the good work, and if you master the character, well, I can say nothing but the best for you. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of a speed round, because if I go by one to explain so much, it's gonna take me ages. So we're just gonna go off imagery and me just explain, because it's gonna be too much otherwise. If you're playing Iron Man, you're probably a guy that never tried to aim in his entire life and thinking you're doing something beneficial in your life for once. You're garbage. Please never play it. The amount of time a team has lost due to a useless Iron Man is more than enough for people to be completely deprived of playing this character. If you're a beginner, fine. If you have sunk in 400 hours and you're still playing Iron Man, get off, touch some grass. Phoenix. This type of players is absolute trash because none of them know how to aim, and usually they always rely on the third attack, which they never complete. So usually Phoenix players are absolute garbage. They sit in the back, they spam their hits, hoping it will chain react with the passive ability, but in reality it does nothing. Jeff players are good. Usually Jeff players don't know how to heal the most, but the ultimate is always good. I've never have a super bad Jeff ultimate, at least in my span of the game. So Jeff players get a pass because also Jeff is cute, and Jeff players overall are like on the better side, so usually Jeff players are good. We support Jeff. What can I say about Loki besides what I've said for many other characters that in the similar genre? Just because you sit in the back, you put on 2 clones, and you spam your attack into the fight, team fight, you're doing your job, of course, but it doesn't mean you're a competent healer, my friend. Just so you know, we understand that's your role, but please don't think you're better than everybody else just because you have a lot of heals, when in reality you did just stood there for like 20 seconds and healed the most. Just because of that, because nobody decided to pick you basically from the back or dive. Every Luna Snow player boils down to put on ultimate, dance, and then just you live for that shit. And that's pretty much the only time you feel alive. Magic players. Now, for Magic players, I actually have high regard for them. Again, Magic is one of those characters that I try to, dabble into a little bit on my time on Marvel Rivals. But actually, I have high respect for Magic players because usually Magic players do take a lot of time, to properly learn the hero. And usually, it's very rarely that I've seen a bad Magic player. Usually, that would have been me when I was trying to learn her. But overall, Magic players know how to do a massive amount of damage in a short amount of time. So, props to those Magic players. If you stumble upon a Magic player, do expect on the brighter side that you will get something positive in return. But even if you don't, and you stumble upon a dumbass, which again, for every hero it kinda happens at some point, don't be discouraged because overall, Magic players are good guys, so we appreciate them. Just like with Captain America, keep grinding and you'll get there. This is me recording this in the future. Now, due to some corruption in the previous recordings, which I've done multiple times, well, unfortunately we have to go a speed run for the rest of this because I'm not sure how well it will hold up. Now, for Magneto players, I have nothing bad to say about them. Magneto players are overall good players. The only thing is that a Magneto's competency boils down to, can he successfully knock out Cloak and Dagger out of her ultimate? Unfortunately, the team praise is gonna boil down to that one instance, and if you fail to do that, well, you're pretty much the worst tank they ever laid their eyes upon. So, sorry to hear that, man, but keep doing the good work. Magneto players are nice. For Mantis players, I only have one thing to say. Just pick a DPS, brother. Nobody is buying that you're playing a strategist. You're not there for the heals. You're there to kill, get your DPS up. No, you're not fooling anybody. Just get out of that shell. It's okay. And if you're a Mr. Fantastic player, again, I'm gonna say it's gonna be one of those characters that I very much like. And I have nothing bad to say about Mr. Fantastic players. Usually they're always consistently good, never bad. They can always be average or better. It's never the opposite. So I always like a Mr. Fantastic player because I was a Mr. Fantastic player myself. So Mr. Fantastic players, I don't know what's the deal with him currently, whether he's bad or good, but just keep up the good work and keep playing the Mr. Fantastic because he is one of the best DPS in the game in my opinion. Moon Knight players are usually garbage. Again, the same goes as I did say with Human Torch players. Just because you know how to put an onk and just spam left click right into it, that doesn't mean you're useful, brother. You're just sitting there in the back hoping you'll get a kill, and then you can brag about it on a clip montage thinking that, oh yeah, I'm good. When in reality we both know that you're doing absolutely nothing, and you pray that the rest of the team knows what they're doing so you can actually get the win. For Namor, I can only say fuck you. Whoever plays Namor, especially with the team up, brother, you are the epitome of I cannot play this game, or I cannot play games at all. You just hope that the squeeds get you kills. You're the worst of the DPS players, and I despise you the most to the bottom of my core. For Penny Parker, I really have no opinion other than that, again, they're pretty much the consistently average player. They're never the best, they're never the worst, they're just there, existing, in a void. If you're a Psylocke player, well, you're the epitome of a tryhard. A Psylocke player usually is the sweatiest of the bunch. These guys have not seen the light of day in the last 10,000 hours. He guys lives and breathes Psylocke, and also you mostly played because of the skin. This is probably the only healer that I don't like per se, because although Rocket Raccoon players are genuinely good, you do know there's a left click right next to the right one. Just so you know. You can do damage as well. You don't have to just keep holding right click and hoping you're for the best. A PSA to all of you players that do Rocket Raccoon. Please, click the left button once in a while. Just like we're about to do now. Scarlet Witch player are the type of players that I also don't like. Why? Well, because Scarlet Witch people don't know how to aim for the life of them. After Namor, the second most despised character that's like brainless is Scarlet Witch, and usually you have no idea how to use the ultimate. You're hoping that you're doing something by just holding left click and picking out kills, and basically your whole experience boils down to W and left click. That's your whole gameplay strategy. Spider-Man. You're trying too hard to be Necros. You're never gonna be him. You're not that good. Please get off. Try a different hero. You're not him, my boy. Overall, Spider-Man players can be very metronomic in a sense of they can either be super good or super trash, but usually they're all trying to be Necros, which never works out. Squirrel Girl. You're holding left click. End of story. Legendary useless. Because you're only good when your ultimate is up. The rest of you're just running around hoping you don't die. Your damage is equivalent to the one of a pea shooter. Storm. Storm players are click E, hope for the best, lightning. I did a lot of damage, I did a lot of kills when in reality you were average. Storm players are never good, never trash, but somehow they are never the key factor in a game winning. The Punisher. Punisher players are very sweaty. Two groups. Very sweaty, that know how to play the game, or you just plop the turret, hope for the best, click ultimate, hope for the best. Never in between. As a The Thing player, Ben Grimm players are actually pretty decent. Never bad. But also your experience does boil down to right click. You're the players that do know how to click one button. Two at most. But overall, the Thing players are pretty much good. They are aware, they do know how to push, they do know when to fall back. They are all around the map, basically, never the forefront as a tank, but overall you're still getting the job done. Somehow you're just trying to get that F ability so you can fling around lightnings, and pretty much the rest of the time you're just doing nothing. You're probably chasing somebody that you can never catch up, and yeah, you die in the process. Ultron. Again, as an Ultron player, I'm saying this, but you're not healing anybody, and you're not fooling anybody. A good Ultron player? One of the best healers of all time. The average Ultron player? One of the worst players of all time. Never doing enough, never enough damage, never enough heals, never enough anything. You're always suboptimal in every single field compared to your teammates. And yet you complain the most. Dive, shield, go back, dive, shield, go back. That's your whole loop, man. Fair enough. Fair enough. Winter Soldier. And I believe for the last we have Wolverine. Wolverine players are desperately trying to yeet somebody off the map. Desperately. And when there's no possibility, well, you still try to do that anyway. Overall, Wolverine players are very much 50-50, but most of the average Wolverine players are absolute garbage. So yeah, that's gonna be the end for this video. I know, it's a huge rant, very angry one at that, but had to be done for one last time for good old time's sake. Thank you guys so much for watching, hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed recording it. Now, I do have similar ideas to this one, and if you did enjoy this video, let me know if you want me to do it for other games as well. And also, if you enjoy the channel and if you like what you're seeing, make sure to click the like button, click the subscribe while you're at it, the bell notification if you want, that's up to you. But it would be very beneficial because it helps us kind of fight against the YouTube algorithm in the sorts. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, till next time, I guess.